Lewis took yet another sip of coffee from his cup. It was the 5th cup of coffee he had drunk that night. He knew the consequence, but the coffee really helped with the problem that was sitting on his hand. Literally. Final ultimatum to the United Nations Otherworld Authority. Cease all military activity in the Verania Valley. Allows the Talahan troops to enter the capital? Might as well say, please let us annex your country. He waved the paper around, gesturing at his assistant as if saying, you seeing this? Meanwhile, his assistant was slowly inching to the door. The leader had reread the ultimatum for almost an entire hour at this point. Not wanting the leader to fall deeper into insanity, he meekly raised his hand. I could ask for assistance. Believing it to have worked, the assistant pressed further. I mean, we have lots of friends. He was quickly interrupted by Lewis's fit of laughter. Friends, he wheezed. The assistant simply nodded before quickly exiting the room to deliver the message. As he ran toward his room to prepare the letters, a thought came into his mind. Maybe they could really help. But his logic stomps that hope straight from the get-go. The UNOA has almost no power in the region. Influence? There are small kingdoms here, and they're on the border, but what could they do against the Talahan? Technology? They do have the most technology left from Earth, but most of them was for civilian use. A computer in a world where a steam engine is the pinnacle of engineering might be advanced, but against a horde of wyvern? Money? They are barely scraping by, and their currency is tied with the Tavan Empire military. Most of the peacekeepers had either left to their home nation colony. Beside mercenaries made up the biggest percentage of humans' military presence in this world. People? Not a lot. And most of them are refugees who were either workers or tourists who got caught during the chaos when those portals suddenly closed. These letters and messages were more akin to a last will rather than a plea for help. What are the odds they would actually help anyway? He thought. Turdo gazed upon his land up from his manor on the central tree. His 300-years-old heart palpitated with joy every time he saw the billows of smoke coming from far away. Turdo heard a knock on the door. Come in. Sir, I have brought the news that the Second Kingdom of Taloha is going to invade a war. His favorite. Warm it, he could sell his weapons easily. They still had tons of experimental firearm that could be sold. The United Nations Otherworld Authority send the guns. Turdo snapped. Sir? We still have some of those early muskets left in our storage. It's probably not much, and they certainly have better weapons, but if my calculations are correct, they wouldn't have enough of those modern armaments to equip their army. Sir, is this all for free? Yes. Do you have a problem? If I am going to be honest, sir, the UNOA is in a very tight spot and is very desperate. We could easily sell them. How old are you? Pardon? I asked. Turdo looked at him up and down. How old are you? Oh, I am 132 years old. Still young, I see. Tell me, do you know what starving feels like? No. It feels as if your own stomach is eating itself. Every bite it takes it would scream in pain and eat harder, which will make it eat faster, which is more painful than the last. Turdo took a deep breath. Now imagine you and your people being stuck in that condition for months. And as you felt yourself closer to death, a group of people came to you and helped you regain your full health. What will you do? I would probably offer myself to serve them for life. Indeed, unfortunately, these people did not like that and rejected your offer. Not only that, but they also rejected all of your payment, insisting that it was free. Now, years later, you see these people being cornered, the same people who had saved you. And your people from that torment are now stuck in a corner, desperate for their life as they are surrounded by enemies from all sides. What will you do? I understand, sir. Good. Send these letters to the Pintang brother. I heard they have finished their first batch of artillery. All expenses would be on me. Right away, sir. The Union of Camarian and Terra had been suffering from an electoral gridlock for the past month or so, owing to the recent instability. But then again, this rare gem of democracy is pretty much unstable 50% of the time. That day was different, however. Shaft didn't turn to look. He simply continued eating. Shaft stopped as the annoying person ruining his lunch gripped his hand. What's the matter, Fams? You know what I am talking about. Shaft rolled his eyes. I have no idea what you are talking about. His scaled lizard hand easily breaks the weak feline grip. The vote. Why did you vote for the bill? Shaft didn't bother to turn his head. Got a problem with it? Shouldn't you be happy that we helped you pass the bills? Yes, I am happy, but it's just weird seeing a lizard of all people, who had just screamed last week about how the humans menace and are now helping the bills that would support the UNOA. And considering the fact that Talahan are much closer to you, why fellow lizards and all? Blood for blood. Excuse me? In human terms, it's called an eye for an eye. That's how we, the Zarkan, operate. Shaft stopped his eating, turning to look at the dumbfounded feline. Don't get me wrong, fams, I don't like humans, the ideas they bring, their interference. Not even hiding the xenophobia. Humans would never vote for me anyway. Why should I care? People already know about my stance. I openly oppose the decision of the Cimmerian and the Terran to be a union, and everybody knows I still oppose that to this day. Shaft snickered. At least I am not some human bootlicker who changes their belief every time their ape's master changes. But I have debts to the humans, not the humans of this nation, mind you, but the humans of UNOA. The blue helmets. He ignored his yelp. Fams went silent, before asking, what kind of debt? Shaft finished his steak, silent. He looked at Fams, and lightly smiled before leaving. Umki, the red heroine, the guardian of the sky and the eternal protector of the Tavan Empire, was pacing around her room, her wings fluttering without rhyme, and her vision darted everywhere like a maniac. She was worried, really worried. Why wouldn't she? Her endeavor of reaching space was in the line. Umki didn't care about politics and all of that boring stuff. Ever since her visit on Earth, seeing that giant flew into space, to the realm beyond the void and above. But alas, now her dream may come to an end forever. Who knows what the Talahan would do to the humans' wonders when they invaded? Those bloodthirsty lizards would simply destroy all of those scientific wonders. As day turned to night, Umki thoughts became more erratic. If push comes to shove, and the queen didn't announce the support, maybe I can kill the queen? I just have to set that bomb beyond the mana barrier and sis. I got news. The queen had officially pledged their support for UNOA and rally our followers, now, and send a message to the fire dragon. Sis? The announcement was just an hour ago. Umki didn't listen. She was already long gone, flying straight to the UNOA territory. Hey Till, why are there a bunch of those Lyonas following us? Till turned to look at his nest kin. His antenna flickered in annoyance. I don't know, Tal. I just heard that they are also supporting those humans, so they're tagging along with us. Really? Those nomadic barbarians knows about the apes. Till shoved his hand up his mouth. They could hear us, you fool. Tal turned to look, true to his brother's word. Some of the Lyonas walking along the convoys were staring them down. Sorry. TCH. Why are we even being sent there? We have no reason to support them. I heard a rumor that our Queen Kulia doesn't want her favorite place to get food to get destroyed. Till bursted out laughing. Brother, please don't say that in front of our commander. We will get burned for treason. Till wheezed. Hey, it's the truth, no? Their foods are something else. When we reach Unoa, I can't wait to get some of those faux ba. Is that food really the only thing in your mind? Do you think this war is worth it over them? Well, not really. There are also those sweet bagels. Or that weird thing they called mac and cheese. And yes, brother, I will die for the mac and cheese. You are the worst nest kin an ant could have. Thank you, brother. Unnoticed to the ant convoys, in the swamp right beyond the forest were another force, tagging along. The slimes had always been a reclusive race, but they aren't hostile. Why would they meddle with the other race's affair? But due to their nature and their past, it was quite hard to make friends with the other races. They were not allies, nor enemies to anyone, they were simply there. But this one was different. The humans were different. Before the leader could even announce their support, several slimes already went on their own. The leader could hardly blame them. Their only allies and friends in danger. Only an idiot wouldn't go. Lewis could do nothing but stare at rows and rows of soldiers in the field. Dragons flew above them. Mages and wizards gathered from all races and cultures, ready to fend off the incoming Talahan. See? His assistant voice wavered behind him. It actually works.